stand in awe within the presence of the Lord, in whom the wisdom of the ages lies, for whom the raging of the sea subsides, the living sacrifice, the only source of life.
My hope is in the Lord, from this time on and evermore.
Now, he's gonna go ahead and put us on Facebook Live now.
Good. Okay, so we're going to talk about our new business. We got a lot of projects to go through, including anything you guys might have. But we have things that we have to finish for our building inspection. So we have a list here of priority that we need to get started on in our business
Does
meetings.
anybody want a copy of the list? Does anybody want a copy of the list of what we're about to talk about?
Is this a list of what needs to be finished for building inspection?
It is, it's a list of things that need to be fixed, it's a list of
So it's all inclusive, not just building inspection?
Pretty much just anybody else?
I think the first things on the list are completing the floor inspection.
Some of those are completed.
Let's see, we're gonna do them all.
Hey,
I'll have another one.
can you make some more? I'm not sure what happened. Can you make one real quick? There you go. Weird. Anybody else? Okay.
So we presented the changes already for the bylaws. I guess you're going to go over that a little bit more.
Yeah, so does everybody understand the changes that we made for the bylaws? So all that was amended from last time was we added the fact that nobody could stay on the church property because of insurance purposes. That's actually in our bylaws. The other thing that we amended is, to go ahead and let the trustees, if they want to stay on for more than 2 years, that they can go ahead and stay on for more than 2 years. We can just re-vote them back in, but they can't stay on any longer than 4 years, okay? Because sometimes it's difficult to try to get different ones to be trustees because of just different issues with folks. So we've got 3 right now that are up to be re-voted in, and we'll be doing that really, really soon. And they'll do another 2 years, so then we'll have to be picking new people for trustees, okay?
Do we need to vote on that, accepting?
Yeah, that part we gotta vote on, because we didn't discuss that before.
Okay. Does anybody make a?
So everybody okay amending the bylaws that if a trustee's okay with staying more than 2 years, they can be re-voted in and stay on the trustee board no longer than 4 years. So they can do up to 4 years. Then they can set off of it for a while. If they want to do it again, then they can be, it just gives everybody a break. Plus it gives people an opportunity to be a trustee and be involved in business. Okay? Everybody good with that?
We're voting on accepting the amendments to the bylaws.
Yes. The only other, I think that was all the amendments, right?
Just nobody staying on the property and the changes of.
Yeah, that was all the amendments.
We're not voting to keep the current
Is that going to be a separate vote, like?
Yes, we're gonna do that probably next week. Yeah, yeah. So that's a great question. So our church business, our church government is set up differently than most Church of God church governments. So we have a board of trustees and we have a board of elders. So the board of elders meet about once a quarter and we discuss kind of the spiritual affairs of the church and things that we can do and, maybe issues or problems. Like when COVID hit, we were meeting a lot trying to figure out what do we do? What's the next step? How do we do it? The trustees are the people who take care of the carnal affairs of the church. If the heat pump messes up, they have the ability to spend up to a certain amount to go ahead and get that fixed so we can still have church on Sunday. Otherwise, they're the ones helping, trying to get all the projects done and stuff like that, and just making sure the bills are paid and the insurance is taken care of. If you want a set of bylaws, and I would encourage you to get a set, because this actually tells you all the requirements for the trustees and the elders. It tells you about how to handle business. Elders don't stay on for life. They can be voted on and off. The congregation gets to do that as well. So it's a very participatory, I think that's how you say that, government. Does that make sense?
Another good point about the trustees too, is they're very involved in legality. So for example,
Yeah.
the trustee board everybody has to sign with the whole church.
Right.
It's very much, they're legally kind of bound to the church as far as that goes.
I think Rob got us incorporated not too long ago, right, Rob? Is that done? And so once we were incorporated, the trustees are the ones who signed those incorporation papers. It's good for a church to be incorporated because you have less liabilities as a corporation than you do as a non-corporation. So, that answer your question? All right. So can we go get a motion to vote on re-voting trustees in for 2 years, making their stint up to 4 years, and then taking them off? Tony makes a motion. Brother Shannon seconds. All those in favor, throw your hand up really, really high.
Okay, perfect.
Okay.
Okay, so the new projects, we're going to do these in order. Some of you have a paper now. Do you guys, is the costs on your papers too? Okay, so we have the fire doors. And I don't know, should we vote on these? We'll just go through each individual one of these. Ken got these prices together, so we can go through each one of these, and if anybody has any questions about these as we go along, then just let me know and we'll talk about it. The fire doors are for the firewall out back. That's required for inspection. We talked, I guess, where did you get the price for the fire doors?
Online.
Okay, so we got the price online for the fire doors.
Brand new doors plus shipping.
That's going to be our number one priority when we start our work days going forward, to get those fire doors in. That's going to be one of the first things we want to work on. That's not an emergency. If something happens between now and what's the next work day, the 19th?
Yes.
So the next work day is the 19th, and if nothing happens between now and then, we're going to be trying to get those fire doors in, and any other small projects we can find. So that's going to be the first priority, trying to get that done. And then the next thing after we get the fire doors in, is going to be the concrete parking spots. You can see there $5,000. That's for 7 parking spots out in front of the building here. That's required also to get the inspection or the building inspection to pass.
That's for the concrete and to have someone finish it, because we don't have enough concrete people here to do that much concrete.
Okay, so that's for them to take care of everything, right? Or are we going to form it
We
up?
have to form it.
We're going to form it up. That's for them to bring it and finish it.
It was 30 yards,
30
close
yards.
to 30 yards. That's at $145 a yard, I think. What I figured.
Say that again, Rob? A yard? Okay,
I can get it for 145.
okay.
I hope, unless it changed from today, from when I called the other day.
Change again,
Yeah.
the way things have been going.
So the storefront doors right here, if you haven't been through those, you know it's kind of a little dangerous, the backswing on that. So we're going to go ahead and get some new storefront doors. We're going to be diligent and try and save money on trying to find those storefront doors. So if anybody has any ideas on that, we would appreciate getting them. So right now, $1,800, for the cost of those storefront doors. The sign by the road, we've talked a little bit about the lighting and getting that all installed. That $1,000 is just for the lighting, right, or is that total?
It's for lighting, it's to finish up electrical, it's to get the panels, it's to replace the panels.
Okay,
A little disclaimer here, there was a brother who donated $400 towards that. So really that price is gonna be $600 that we need to finish up the sign.
does that include setting it?
Yeah, that's everything.
Okay, so that's everything on the
That's
sign.
At the end of the road, lighted up with the new panels in it, everything.
So we'll need to think about getting that done. But that's number 4 on the priority list. We'll have to go down through these as we go along and finish them. Switching to fluorescent lights in the fellowship hall in here. We got $1,800 on that. And that's going to save us money because those fluorescent lights are really sucking the energy. So that's costing us money. It'll save us money in the long term to get those.
Greg, how long did we say it would take for them to pay for themselves? 2 years and they would pay for themselves, or is it 3? Okay.
We really need a cooler. The one we got out there is not working or don't work. So we're going to need a cooler at some point, probably before we have any big events here. All-day meeting, definitely before that. And for Vacation Bible School, we'll need a cooler. So that's $3,600 for a cooler. That's not like a workday issue. We don't really have that on a workday. So number 7 is awnings, side and front. So that's going to be to cover our concrete pad out here, so people can pull under to come in here out of the rain or weather, however it may be. So that's going to be a pretty wide. It's going to fluctuate. The price is going to fluctuate with the market. It's going to take a lot of labor to get that done. It's going to take quite a few work days to get that done. So
$1,850 for the small one.
So Ken got a price of $1,850 for the small one on the front out here, and $5,860 for the one that's going to go out here on the side.
And I rounded all these up, just to let you know, I rounded them up. So.
Outside lights and poles, solar options not really available. We got too much of a canopy of leaves up there, so we can't really use solar lights. But Brother Greg, didn't you say, so we can do away with those lights out there? We voted to have those lights put in, but they're costing us a lot of money a month. So Brother Greg come to me and he said, why can't we just take those lights away? Because it's not, we originally put those lights in to make people feel more comfortable coming in here at night. But I mean, you drive everywhere on the road, it's dark everywhere. So those lights are costing us, how much? For all the lights? Okay, so $34 a month for all the lights.
That's per light, Rob.
What do you do?
The ones
On the
down
poles.
The driveway?
Yeah.
I thought you told me those were like $60 a month. For all of them. Yeah, I think we keep them. I'll pay them.
Okay, we'll keep those.
I'll give you the $34 for that.
Yeah, I thought it was more for some reason too. Maybe it was more just to get them installed or.
$9 a lot.
Yeah, I thought it was a lot. Huh?
There are 4 lights out there. For all 4.
That's what the electric bill reflects.
Yeah, I know, Johnny, between me and you, we'll split it, brother, if we need to. Yeah, I think that one's done. Do we need to vote on that?
Okay. Repairing the entryway. So when the front out here was leaking, it caused some damage behind the sheetrock out in the front where the Sunday school rooms are. It's low on our priority list right now, but as we finish these projects, we're going to want to take that drywall off and see what's behind there and see what we need to fix. Sister,
It's pretty bad when they want to look behind that drywall too.
That's part of that estimate, babe.
Are we concerned about the mold that could be in the thunderstorm or a heavy rain every morning?
So, let me explain to you a little bit about mold. Just because water leaked in behind something doesn't mean that there's black mold there. There will mold grow there, but it doesn't mean that there's black mold. So, yes, we want to take that off and make sure that none of it is grown and that we don't have any issues with it. If it was a really bad case, it would already be growing to the front of the sheetrock, so we want to get it before it actually starts doing that.
so we got that at $1,000 to repair. It's just an estimate. We don't know the damages behind that. We'll find that out when we go to checking it out. The last thing on this list is a church van. Ken said it between 2014 and 2018. We want to get something newer because I haven't been here that long, but I heard that all we've ever got is older vans, and we've had problems out of them. So between $15,000 and $25,000 for a newer, good condition church van. That's what we're going to be looking at in the future. And we're going to have to set a budget for that and maybe do offerings on it. So that's something we're going to have to set up and start doing. It's pretty low on our priority list, but it'll need to be done pretty soon. So the total project budgets for that is $26,500.
Let me ask some questions.
Okay.
So you guys heard what we had in the general fund, and I don't want to repeat that, okay? But obviously, we can't pull this amount out of the general fund to do all this stuff, right? So we got down here, if you look down at the bottom of the paper, it says general fund withdrawal and then donations, okay? So there's already a brother who's give $1,000 towards these projects, okay? So if we could vote tonight to go ahead and maybe withdraw $5,000 from the general fund, if some of you would be willing to donate to some of these projects so that we can get some of this stuff done and finished, then we would take a look at the amount that we got and then see what we could do to get this stuff done, okay? But if we don't, again, we can't take out $15,000, $20,000 out of the general fund, because if one of the units go out here, for instance, okay, they're not normal units, they're commercial units. If one of those goes out, the last time I checked, it was about $15,000 to put a new one in. You can probably figure about a 30 to 40% increase on that. So you're going to probably be looking around $18,000 to $20,000 to put a new one in. Okay? So Brother Rob had explained to us, and we're doing better than we ever have as a little congregation. I mean, the Lord's just, I don't know if y'all remember, but remember the first few years, Rob would always say, we're in the red, we're in the red, we're in the red. We ran in the red for probably, 7 or 8 years. It was a very long time we ran in the red. So the Lord's really blessed us. But that $5,000 amount is kind of based on the consistency of the tithe and the offering that Rob sees coming in. We could comfortably take that out of the general fund and apply it to some of these projects. But then we'd need some help from you guys to be able to finish up some of those things and get as much done as we possibly could. So if you're willing to give a donation and you want to give a donation, then just get with Sister Jenna. She has a donation card for you. Put your name on there so we know who to get it from, okay? But all that money's going to be spent on these projects. Now, like Brother Jason said, the fire doors and that concrete up front, it has to be done within the next 3 months because we have another inspection coming up or we're going to be behind in inspections. So that has to be done. So just that right there, you're looking at $9,000. That's what you're looking at. So basically, you put the $1,000. We still need the $1,000 that the brother donated. We still need $8,000 to finish those projects. Okay. Once those are done, we get a final inspection, and we're done with the building inspector until we start building the dining hall. We're done with the building inspector, okay? Anybody got any questions about that? Donations are going to be the key to this. So if you can give, please give as unto the Lord. Every little bit helps, okay? Sister Teresa? Well, some of it's not new. Like, for instance, the fire doors wasn't new. The concrete parking spots was not new. The storefront doors are new because I asked Brother Jason to drill a hole over there to put a to put a door stop up at the top, and I chose the wrong place for him to drill the hole, so he drilled through the cylinder. And those doors are so old that we're not going to be able to get a cylinder for them, are we, Scott? So we have to get another set of doors. That door now, because the cylinder's busted, it literally knocks Brother Norwood from the door to his seat every morning. Uh-oh, we got a lawsuit. Yeah. No, if you go in or out that door, you literally got to close it by hand. So that's the reason why it's kind of up on the list pretty high. So these are kind of in order to what we think probably needs to be done first. Yeah, well, as soon as he goes into new business. Are you doing that?
Yeah.
Okay.
These are ongoing projects and things that we need like as fast as possible. So this is a priority list. We're going to open it up after I finish talking about these, and we make any votes that go with these projects, like the $5,000, the arbitrary $5,000 that Ken come up with, and donations. We're going to vote on those numbers, and then we'll open it up to any new business that anybody else might have. So is there any more questions about that? Sister Jenna?
The initial 5,000 that we're voting for, that will primarily, to begin with, go to the fire doors, number one, and then bleed over into the concrete so we can pass inspection in 3 months. That has to get done. So that's the thing we're voting on, right?
Yes. Okay. So the initial 5,000, this is a priority list. So the 5,000 we're going to vote on tonight is going to start with the fire doors, and if they end up being cheaper than that, it's going to bleed over into the concrete. So this is just to get us a start on these required projects we have to get done.
There's one thing I feel like is close to being a priority that's not on the list.
Okay.
Some kind of phone service where we can get some kind of emergency call inside the building. I think I mentioned that a while back, not here in the business. So, can we discuss that?
I'll let Brother Scott update you, honey. Go ahead and update her, Brother Scott. That way you can tell the whole congregation.
On the phone service.
Yes, so, there's a person who is donating the money to purchase a cell booster that will cover this entire building. It's a very large building compared to what we had before. We have several antennas, so they are donating that, and we'll be purchasing that within the next week or so, and getting that installed, so that you'll be able to cover all carriers, 2G, 3G, LTE, so that we'll have cell service in this building. You may not have 5 bars in here, because it's all based upon where we're at and how strong the signal is outside, but you will have some signal in the building.
So the reason we had to do that is because we can't get a landline out here. Verizon won't run one, AT&T won't run one. They won't run a landline out here. A lot of it has to do with the fact that the poles that are on the road belong to the city. So they won't do it. So this is our only option, and there was a brother who offered to donate to pay for that. So, because I know some of you probably thinking, why don't we just get a landline? Well, we tried and we can't.
Does that answer your question? Okay.
We'll still be able to make calls, correct?
Yes.
To receive and make calls.
Yeah, you may have 2
all the way at the back of the building too, right,
So
Scott?
that will carry it all the way through, because I know when I'm in the back of the warehouse, I can't communicate with anybody, I have to walk out to a parking lot to call.
If you'd like to contribute some towards the purpose, then yeah, we can sure
We'll have to find out how the stuff works, but that's just the plan going forward. Any other questions? All right, so do we have a motion to vote on the 5,000 to start with our priority projects here? This is coming out of the general fund. Brother Tom, but Sister Andrea. Sister Andrea, a motions is for it? Brother Norwood seconds it. All in favor?
Thank you.
So any other questions or new business that wants to be brought up? So I'm just trying to find out if anybody's got any projects or questions about something they want to get fixed or anything we want to start getting involved in, anything like that. It's time for new, Brother David. Paving the road up here? So I got a quote on that maybe a year and a half, 2 years ago, and it was $26,000 for asphalt, and it's probably went up. And I think we just kind of voted against that.
Brother David, we are accepting money orders for that.
Yeah.
Tagging on to that, I know at one time you all were looking at trying to get the state to pave the road. Is it not possible? Did the state say?
So the lady at the end of the road here, she won't sign an agreement for us. She would have to give part of her property to the state to pave the road for the state to take over, and she won't do it.
So I'm just gonna throw this out there. If you pay $5,000 versus and agree versus $26,000 to pay it, is that something you would be interested in?
Are you talking about paying her off, man? I feel like I'm in Haiti right now.
I'm,
It's 5,000 versus 26.
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, that's something we could look into. We could vote on that. I'm not even sure the state will take care of it. I don't know, but I can look into that.
You have to have, the people who live on the road sign the petition, has to be turned in, then you go on a list. And they have to come out.
So we could pay her for the property, and then they not even take care of the road.
So we would want,
Yeah. We own half the road, and they own half the road.
according to the lady at the end of the property, she owns the whole road.
Oh yeah, but
Well, we had to get a paper signed and notarized to give to her to be able to put that drain in up there, because she said the road belonged to her. And I think it does. We would have to just look on Burke County GIS and see if it does.
Brother Robert, do you have a question?
On the state road, they turn it over to state road, they come to and pay it, and state police trouble. They took good care of it. Did you know about anything with that?
Correct.
Yep. Yeah.
Yep. So if we want to, amen. So we can revisit that in a little while, maybe in the spring, and see if we want to go through with that. Okay, we'll revisit that if everybody's okay with that. and see how that works out. Any other brand new business?
I've talked to a young person, in between the little one and the older one. Are the basketball goals, are they stable? But both of those goals, are they stable?
Okay, so she asked if the basketball goals are stable.
I'd say they're about as stable as nitroglycerin.
Yeah.
You can see the kids move them out, so.
No, they are mobile basketball goals. They're mobile. You know, you can get some more of those, but what happens is people come, visitors come, they start dunking it, putting it down, and then they fall down and it busts the backboards. You know, we've tried.
In the ground, you know, that's what I call that.
We could look at putting one at the end of that, but there would only be one, which would probably be enough, but we'd have to get. Here's the crazy thing about that, Sister Norwood, is they don't sell a pole for that. So we literally have to find a pole that we can mount the thing on. And because I did this over in Tennessee, trying to find the stuff for the kids over there. And so we'd have to have somebody kind of take that on who would buy the backboard, try to find the pole, because the pole's got to be about, I think, like 15 feet, 16 foot long, 3 inches in diameter, and you can't put PVC up there and pour it full of concrete. You can't do that. It's got to be a steel pole about 16 foot long. So we can look into it.
Brothers,
They told me that there's nothing here for them. There's about 4, 5, or 6 of them. And they'd like to have one that's got a net on it. Okay. And so it's a good stable.
hold on, Sister Jenna. I think Brother Scott had a question. Oh, yeah. Get the micro. Go ahead, Sister Jenna.
We have an extra one that's similar to what's already out here, but it's not broken. That said a long time ago that the church could have it, we just haven't got to bring it over. So at least one of those broken ones would be thrown away and replaced with one that's set like that can be done just as quick as it can.
Okay.
Yeah, you can put water in those things. You can put concrete in them. They still flip over. So, I mean, we can go ahead and bring it and they can use it till it gets broke, but it's going to get broke. So, just know that, Seth or Daniel or whoever. That's true. You're right, Tom, because they do get blown over. That's true.
Any other new business?
They told me that everything is good for the little kids, and they're too big for those swings.
Okay.
So the swing set is actually rated for kids, I think, up to 12 years old, isn't it? So if you ain't hit 12, you're doing okay. I mean, but we can, I don't see any problem with getting a basket, because we really put a lot of thought in getting that play set and not making it for younger kids only. So it's up for kids up to 12 years old.
If anybody has any ideas, you know, like those kids you're talking about, if they have some ideas, just tell them to come to me or somebody and let me know, and we can vote on that, or ideas, or any of that stuff. So just tell them to come to me and let me know. Sister Becky?
Yeah, I looked upstairs today, and it was swamped. That is not big enough for the big kids and the little kids. I mean, they were standing room on them. Why can't we go up there to the bigger fence and fix the old one?
Well, Sister Becky, if you could keep Randy off the playground, then there'd be some more room out there.
So that's something we could. That's something we could revisit. We have a lot of projects we have to get done now, and playground equipment and things like that is fairly expensive. We could do fundraisers and things like that. It's something we can talk about if you want to bring that up.
I think the bigger is a great idea. But really, I think the easiest thing to do would be like Mr. Becky said, do a bigger one up there, and then you can do like a green over here right by the church. But the most expensive, as Brother Becky said, that playground
I think Andrea had her hand up, and then I'm gonna say something. I think I might have an idea.
Sister Andrea?
Something cheap that you could do, that we could do, and I don't think the parents would be their minds to do, pay for it. We could just get like what is it? A big gallon of all, like, at the schools, like, they have one, like, activity balls in it, like basketballs and footballs and kickball or soccer ball, and like, just like, I know my Sunday school group is 5 schools. Because those kids, they're boys, I mean, not sure they can have football. And just, that they have to put it right, like, you have to clean up after yourself, and you're not gonna keep finding stuff, or you just leave it out. But I mean, that's something, I mean, you could, $100. That's nice.
I was gonna say, Sister Norwood, I think we can look at maybe putting them like some teeter-totters out there that would be really cheap and a little bit bigger swing set, and just manufacturing that from like metal post and stuff. Jason could weld them together. It'd give them a little bit, right, Jason? Thank you. And it would give them a little bit bigger of a swing set and stuff like that. If the parents want to bring balls and bring them in, that's fine. I don't think there's an issue with that. But the church used to buy them, Drea. We used to get them all the time. Where'd she go? And they kept getting flat or kicked over into the woods and stuff like that. And so we just stopped getting them. So, but feel free, any of the parents who want to bring footballs or basketballs or whatever you want to bring, go ahead and bring them. That's fine. We'll try to get them something going.
Make something big,
Yeah,
want to come back in and dump it in.
yeah.
All right, any other questions, new business that we want to get started?
Mandy.
Sister Mandy?
Recently, there was an envelope brought to the office that had CR in it, and no one had decided what to do with it, because CR, is it suspended, is it now on?
Yeah, so we were doing Celebrate Recovery, and we stopped doing Celebrate Recovery because it was mainly just church people who were coming at that time. There's a fund, and so I told Jenna to bring that to the office to give to Rob to just set up another fund. Don't put that in the general fund. Start a new fund for CR, because hopefully maybe we can start that back up later on whenever COVID passes.
Okay, I just didn't know if that was earmarked for anything in particular.
No, I think it was like $500 left over that we had or something like that, right, Jenna? Okay. Yeah, so just, Rob, if you want to start another fund for that and keep it in a separate fund, okay?
Brother Rob? So COVID shut all that stuff down. I mean, as soon as possible. I mean, hopefully this year.
Said we take a trip to the Ark.
Yeah. So we are, Brother Rob, I had a revival scheduled again for this month, and the date didn't work out. So we're actually going to have 2 weekend revivals next month. We are going to try to have our annual picnic this year. We are going to try to schedule some more events this year. I'm going to get with Jenna. She'll put those on the calendar. But just remember, I can't fit everybody's schedule. So I'm just going to have to pick dates, and hopefully if you can come, you can come, okay? I'll try to check with everybody and see if it's a good date. But if it's on a Wednesday night or a Sunday night and you're not here and they chose that date, we'll just put it on the calendar and you'll have to try to set it aside. But we are going to try to do more things this year for sure, brother.
Anything else? New business? Any questions? One thing I do want to throw out there, since Sister Norwood brought up projects for the kids, and we've talked about calendars, is every third Saturday is a work day. We're going to need everybody we can get here to finish the projects we have here, and then to move on forward to projects like that, other things we want to get done. So we need everybody that can make it to be here on the work days. They're going to be on the calendar. We're going to put out notifications for them, and a sign-up sheet for the work days. So that's all I have for that. Anybody else have new business? new projects, anything like that you want to bring up.
Yeah, Rob's supposed to get that moved down on the concrete, right, Rob?
There's some razor blades and nails I picked up there.
Uh-oh, Rob, you're in trouble. Tommy's gonna get you, man. Yeah, that's where your husband wants it moved. It's his.
Basketball goals are,
On one side, yeah.
where razors and nails and fun things physically.
Well, hopefully, all of that is pretty much in relationship to Rob's business. So the people who are here got to make sure that that stuff's going in that dumpster, whoever those folks are that's throwing that stuff away. Because all we're throwing in there is trash. Bags of trash, that's it. And we're not paying for that dumpster anymore because it all got switched around. So Rob's the one paying for that dumpster, and we just throw the bags of trash in there.
Is the church investing a little roller magnet that's for the church to go out and clean up and roller that out a little bit?
Sure, I mean, that's not going to be that much. I don't.
Big nails over yonder, but we had that blow up thing in BBS. I got a flat tire too.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, we can take care of that.
I've actually got one that's not a roller. You just hold it. I can bring it on a work day, and we can just have somebody do it every work day to make sure. Say again? For what? Okay. Well, I told you I'm gonna bring my magnet, Tom, and we'll get them up.
You have something you need to.
Yeah. So, is there any other new business? We're gonna yeah, you can go ahead and come up now before I do this last part. Yep. Or you can just ask from there if you want to, whatever you want to do. Okay.
Is our VBS budget. So we have VBS coming up July 18th through the 23rd. We have been doing, and Sister Dawn, how long have we been doing VBS? You did the first one back in Marion. It's been 10 plus years. I mean, it's been
15
years. It's been a long time. To my knowledge, we have never upped the VBS budget from whenever we first started doing it. So currently, we are budgeted $1,500 a year out of the general fund for VBS. If you heard Brother Jason's expense report, last year it was a little over $2,000. The year before that, I have, for my budget total, $1,700, around $1,700. So we're kind of going over that a little bit. And I would like to ask the church if we could up our VBS budget to $2,500 instead of $1,500. Things have raised in cost. Hopefully we're going to have more kids this year. Part of that is going to be reserved in case we need to rent a van again. Last year we didn't have to rent a van, and we were still at that 2,000 mark. I can guarantee you that if we end up not renting a van because we have one, I won't be taking that money and throwing it somewhere else in VBS. It'll go back into the general fund. But I feel like $2,500 is probably going to put us very comfortably where we need to be, hopefully to get some more kids in from the community and to cover our needs for VBS. Does anybody have any questions? I have the budgets if you want to know where money goes to. We usually purchase a kit. We have some money that goes towards our assembly that we do at the beginning every night. Crafts, PE, science, the food we provide for the kids each night. Some goes towards music, a little bit goes towards lessons, and this is even a lot of people. I know a lot of our teachers cover expenses out of pocket for VBS. I know several people who worked on our big decorations last year covered expenses out of pocket last year. And we're still hitting that $2,000 mark. So if we could up it to $2,500, I do feel like that would put us in a better spot for VBS. If we could increase our budget for VBS from the general fund from $1,500 to $2,500 is what I'm asking. Does anybody have any questions for me about that?
If you need a copy of the budget, she's got it.
Yeah, I can make you a copy. I've got budgets for this year, for 2021 and 2019.
Brother Shannon, what was spent last year?
In my budget, I have $1,819, but I think a couple of receipts were turned into Brother Rob that didn't go through me first, and I think you had 2,000 something, right, Brother Jason? Yes, sir. Was that the difference?
We had what?
It
The
was,
inflatable.
so it was $2,400, roughly last year.
But last year, we also had to purchase 2 big box fans for back here because we used this room and we needed to cool it. So we purchased 2 big box fans. And like Brother Rob said, we also did the inflatable for the kids last year.
I'm just trying to get clarity. So last year we spent like $2,400, right?
Yes.
We had a $1,500 budget anyways, and I know people donated out of it. So it's not like we spent $1,500 last year and we're gonna try to do $2,500 this year. We spent less than last year.
And just to be clear, we didn't just go spend $2,500. I went to Daddy and the trustees and was like, hey, VBS is here. We're probably gonna go over our budget. What do we need to do? And was told that, let's get some numbers, let's see how much we spend this year, and then we'll bring it in the business meeting to see how much we actually need for VBS.
So that inflatable was $150, I think, to rent it, just to be clear. Where your cost is coming in, food costs have went up exponentially. That's went up pretty high. Materials cost, whenever we're out kind of buying stuff to do crafts and paint and stuff like that, a lot of that stuff got donated, but everything's went up. I mean, we all know that inflation. So what if we say that we vote on at least $2,000 and see where we're at this year, since we're not going to have to buy the big box fans this year.
We're not, but last year we didn't have a van rental either.
Oh,
And
that's
in
true.
2019, we rented a van that was $350 for the week, and it was full every single night with babies from the community. So we're going to try. The reason that didn't happen last year is because we didn't canvass and get out because we didn't have time. But this year we're going to try our best to get those babies back in, and we're going to need a van. Hopefully, if we have one, I know it's on the, but it's not very high on the priority list. I don't know we'll have it by July. I want to make sure we have the money there to get a van if we need to get these community kids in. Tasha?
We also try to make sure all our bases have school supplies.
Yeah,
No, Amanda and Greg are very good, no kid leaves school hungry.
yeah.
We have too much going on.
And that was something else I was going to mention. We do every year at the end of VBS, out of the VBS budget, we purchase school supplies and send it home with each of our kids for them to start the school year. And we usually put a little paper in there saying we loved having you at Vacation Bible School. We would love for you to come back to Sunday school, trying to reach out to families.
And we want to get t-shirts as well with our church's name on it, to kind of do that as an outreach as well. We didn't even do that last year, and that's something we want to do, so, hey, I went to Victoria Church.
So I would,
I make a motion,
to up it to 2,500?
yeah, to take it to 2,500 if that includes the van cost.
Tasha seconded. Dre, did you have something to add? I'm sorry. Okay.
I didn't see you, Dre, I'm sorry. Are we voting? Oh. Is there another question?
I think we're voting.
Okay.
Daddy
We're
motioned,
voting.
Tasha seconded.
That's a great ministry.
It is, and we're really hoping, like I said, we're hoping to be able to really get some kids in from the community this year. So we have our theme picked out. We're working on stuff. We're going to bring that to the congregation so everybody can know what we got going on, and we're super excited. The other thing, I had a couple more things, and I'm so sorry. I know business meetings can be tedious, but I promise it's only 6:30, even though it feels a lot later. Fall Festival. We do every year. Once again, that budget has not increased since I've been doing Fall Festival, which has been a while. We usually budget $500. It would really be better if we could go up to $700 for that. And we also, each year, we have the silent cake auction and the pie throwing. We raise a little bit of money. It's not a lot. I think probably top tier is maybe $100 is the most we would get in. In the past, we have contributed that to the Haiti Vacation Bible School that we did for a couple of years, which we have not been able to do since COVID. So Daddy and I had discussed the possibilities of what to do with that little bit that we make. We can roll it into the following year's fall festival, which is an option. Once again, it's not a ton. Or we can find another mission to support. We could support a local mission. We could, try to get in touch with Brother Nathan and see if it could be used. So my questions there is increasing from 500 to 700 for the fall festival. And anybody was here for the fall festival, it was a huge outreach this year. And 700 puts us comfortably where we would need to be for that. We wouldn't need any more than that.
Casey, let me jump in here real quick. Sister Becky Laywell's in really, really bad pain, so let's just have prayer for her real quick, okay? If y'all could just be agreed with us, and we'll look to the Lord for her. Father, as we come to you, God, we know that you're a present help in a time of need, Lord. We know you're able, dear God, and Father, we ask, Lord, that you would step up from your throne, Lord, walk over to the edge of heaven, dear God, and reach down, lay your hand on our sister, dear Lord. Touch her for your glory, dear God. Let her feel the very power that comes from being one of your children, we pray. Father, in the name of Jesus, we put a rebuke on this affliction, dear God, and we claim her healing in Jesus' name. Amen.
So does anybody have any questions about the fall festival? I know I talk really fast. If you need me to, Brother Tony just motioned to raise it to 700. Brother Tommy seconded.
There was 90 people. There was 90 people here last year for the fall
and
festival.
I can promise you that we are very frugal with fall festival. We reuse a lot of our booths and all of that, but we do provide the food, and that is where our increase in cost is coming from right now.
So Tommy, did you second it, buddy?
He did.
All in favor? Brother Rob?
A lot of people who donate food or whatever they're gonna do not turn their receipts to me.
Okay.
I'm not turning any receipts.
Yes, so we do have people who cover out of pocket expenses for fall festival as well.
So all in favor to raise the,
Increasing to 700.
Third time's a charm.
And as far as what we want to do with the proceeds from our fall festival, do we want to roll it into the following year, or would we like to look for a new mission to support?
I say we roll it into the following year. Roll it into the fall festival budget.
So Daddy motioned to roll it into the fall festival budget. Brother Tony seconded.
I had a different idea.
Sure.
I don't mean to sound weird or anything like that. Nobody has to agree with me. The youth are very heavily involved, I think. And I think it might be nice if we let them have that for their youth room.
I think that's a great idea. Can we start contributing that to a youth room fund?
I'm okay with that too.
So,
Done.
motion. Do I have a second for the youth room fund? Brother Greg, motion for the youth room fund. Okay.
Say
All in
it.
favor?
All those in favor. Say it, Jason.
all those in favor of rolling unused funds from the increased budget into the youth room.
This isn't from the increased budget. This is from the proceeds that
proceeds.
we get at the
Sorry.
fall festival.
Sorry.
We have a little bit that comes in with our activities we do. Okay. And I had one more thing. I promise this is the last thing. And this may be something we need to revisit. But I recently started working at the Chamber of Commerce, and I did not realize exactly what it was. But I think it would be a really good opportunity for our church if we wanted to join. There's lots of benefits. It would be $325 a year, but I think it would be less since we're a nonprofit. And basically we would be, because I feel like we're very out of the way back here. And just so you know, I don't get any kind of commission for this or anything. Like it's not because I work there, I promise. Nobody gets commission. I just think it would be a good idea. We're very out of the way, and lots of people don't know we're here. But if we were to join, they would send out 2 email blasts a month for us about any events, and any events we have, like our VBS, they would post it on all of their social media pages. We would be listed in their directory they have a whole directory of their members and businesses, and lots of people are all the time coming in and picking up those directories. People who relocate here pick up one of those to try to find places. We would get, like I said, all the promotions and all of that. There's lots of benefits, and it would really get us out there, I feel like, as far as people being able to see us a little bit better. We could put some kind of pamphlet at the visitor center for people to know that we're here. Like I said, it may be something we want to revisit, but if anybody has any questions about it, I do think it would be a good way for us to get our church a little better known. And that's annually. That cost is annually. It's not monthly. Does anybody have any questions?
Can you just bring us like an outline of that
Absolutely.
information?
I can bring a whole packet.
And
Yeah.
then we'll look at it.
Okay.
So we'll revisit that.
All right.
Do you have something?
Yep. You got anything else?
The back row.
Oh, yeah, I'll do that one. Couple of things. Now, we're going to take a vote on this, and we're not going to, it's going to be okay, whatever we decide. I don't know if you guys have ever noticed, right? But when visitors come in, it's very awkward for them to have to walk down the middle aisle and try to find a seat. Okay? What I'm asking is, could we take the back row, and I'm so sorry, Brother Floyd, you can vote no on this, I won't be mad at all. Can we take the back row of every single row and put visitor signs on the back of that so when they come in, they've got a place to sit? There's other churches that have done that, and it helps the visitors as they come in to feel more comfortable instead of walking right down the middle aisle. I know some of them might need to be saved, and we're going to try to get them to the altar as quick as we can. I'm just not sure we want to do that as soon as they walk in the door. So, and we wasn't going to just make that decision on our own. We wanted to see how you all felt about it, and so you can ask me any questions, comments, and we don't have to do it at all if we don't want to do it. The other thing it does is, Brother Scott mentioned it kind of pushes us forward for the live stream as well. But that's not the reason we're doing it. He didn't say that till today. And it was all my idea just to kind of give visitors a place to sit down. Just the very back row. Sister Jenna? If it's an unspoken thing, then probably folks from the congregation will still sit in it. If we just put a sign on the back that says visitors, then they'll know where to sit as well. But it could be unspoken. I mean, we're not going to do like a 5x10 on the back of it or nothing. Just what do you guys think? And if you don't want to do it, it's fine. It's literally just moving up one row. Okay. Wow. Rob, you have your hand up? Hold on, I just got positive feedback, so it's got to be positive. No, I'm just kidding. You didn't have your hand up? Anybody else? Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Sister Becky. Yep, tell everybody good with that? So can somebody make a motion for that to move up one row? Second it? Say again? I'll take care of the signs. Don't worry about it. I'm going to get real nice ones to put back there. Yes, we are voting on it. Not the signs, just moving up a row. So that way everybody knows. Okay? We can do that. We can wait on the signs and see how that works out. But if you're sitting back there, you will be requested to... No, I'm just kidding. Go ahead, Chip.
I think what she's trying to get is that if a visitor comes in, I think it's a good idea to have the back where we can sit down and feel comfortable. But if it's listening as a visitor, it almost like calls them out again. Like everybody knows they're a visitor now.
You mean like after I call them out by name? But I don't call them visitor. I do try to call them by their first name. What'd you say, Sister Jenna? Gotcha. Sister Cindy? Guest? Well, for now, let's just vote on moving up a row, and then we'll figure out the other part. Tony, Andrea made motions. All those in favor? Thank you all so much. I think that'll be helpful. One last thing, it was mentioned in, and this is the last thing, it was mentioned in the old reading of the minutes about getting a loan for the church building. We no longer have to get a loan. There's a brother who's actually going to be paying the building off for us in the next 2.5 years. No, I'm not kidding you. So thank the Lord for that. With that being said, so we can help with that, because we still would like to try to help a little bit. Now look, we're still paying our $1,500 that we got to pay for the next 2 years. We're still paying that, but we don't have to get a loan in 2 years to finish paying the building off. So it's a huge blessing, right? But some of us, okay?
I'm a little bit confused. So we were going to refinance the church in 2 years?
Okay, let me start from the beginning. The church was originally purchased for $450,000. We put down $200,000, which left us with a balance of $250,000. The church was financed privately by the owner for 5 years at 5% interest. At the end of that 5 years, we were still owed about $210,000 to pay the building off. Right? No. What was it, Rob? $226,000 to pay the building off. So because of that, and we've been making extra payments as well. We've been making one extra payment a year, and I didn't know, but it's been working out where we've been making one extra payment. So literally in 2 years, we were going to have, because we visited last business meeting, and then our last business meeting, we were talking about how we had to build up our credit, and we had to do some aesthetics out front so it don't look like a warehouse. That's why we talked about some of these awnings and stuff. And but it's worked out now to where at the end of that 2 years, we don't have to get a loan, okay? The way that's paid, give me just a second, Sister Jenna. The way we pay that $1,500 right now is Rob rents space back from us, which is $800 a month. The rest is private donations. And some of us, we visit every business meeting we have been. We visited last year. If you want to pay an extra $15 or $20 a month on the building to help pay it off, then you need to get with Sister Jenna and make a pledge, because that's the way we've been paying for this building. Brother Rob?
Of the 12 months last year, we only had 3 months where it's all.
Say that again, brother.
12 months, last 12 months, we only had enough pledges to pay for 3 months. We were like 1,300, 1,200, 1,400, but we only hit 1,500 3 times.
Okay, so if you have pledged your money and you're not paying your pledge, then that means that we're not making the rest of that money's coming out of the general fund. Yeah, that's true. So if you want to pledge tonight, $50 a month, $20 a month, every little bit helps. And that'll just help that brother get the building paid off, because he's not like paying it off right now. He's just making extra payments for us. Okay? Any questions about that? Brother Scott?
I was going to say too, if you pay on time with it, makes it really easy. You can set a recurring payment and set it as building fund, and it'll just automatically pull it out every month. You don't even have to do anything. So that's a lot.
Yep. Jenna, I'm sorry, I forgot about you. You had your hand up.
September 2023 is when we have to refinance?
We bought the building in 2018, so in 2023 is when we have to refinance. October 2018 is when we bought it, so 2024 is when it would be paid off, October 2024. 5 years, 23. Yeah, year and a half away.
So over the next year and a half, it'll get repaid, or?
No, the reason why I said it'd be the next 2 years is because the brother actually worked out with the owner of the building, which is Norma, to allow them to pay an extra 6 months to get it paid off so that we don't have to refinance it. So that's the reason why I said that. A lot going on up here. Let me say one last thing. So we've got $6,000 for these projects that have to be done, and we need $9,000. What's going to happen is we're going to dismiss in service we're all going to start talking, and we're going to walk out of here and forget that if we can make a donation towards that tonight, we're going to forget to do that. So I'm going to ask Jenna to just pass it out right now. If you would, just make sure you put your name on it and give it to Brother Rob. If you can make a donation towards these projects so we can get these done, because we're still $4,000 short of just getting the 2 projects done that have to be done for the building inspector, okay? So if you can give $100, you can give $20, if you can give $5, we got to raise that money to be able to get these projects done so we can get the building inspector in here before the next 3 months are up, okay? So I'm just going to have her pass those out, and then we're going to dismiss in prayer. Do you got those ready to pass out, Jenna? Did you bring them up here to the front? No, just put on the paper what you can donate and give the paper to Brother Rob and let him know when you'll be giving it to him, and let him know that it's for the building fund, okay? You got him, Sister Jenna? Thank you. Just let her pass those out. You got anything else? We good? I'll let you close it out. So the money, hold on. So the money that you're going to be pledging tonight is going to be going towards the projects. So that will be the building fund, because that's the stuff to do the projects. The mortgage, let me tell you about the mortgage again. We pay $1,500 for pledges. For that, it's totally separate. If you want to pledge $50 for the mortgage, then you need to put on there $50 for the mortgage or $100 for the mortgage, okay? That clarify it? And it did for everybody else too, I think. Is there any, Brother Greg?
Hypothetically speaking, should we not still be doing stuff to build our credit? Just hypothetically, if something were to fall through, this brother passes away, anything could happen in the next year and a half. Is there nothing we should still be doing to build our credit as a fail-safe to protect the church?
That's a good point. We already did get a business card from Lowe's that we've been using.
Is it possible, say we voted on $15,000, right? Could we take a secure line and pay that with that $15,000 so that we're still continuing to build credit versus, I mean, I'm not saying this brother's going to pass away out of the floor, I hope he doesn't, but what I'm saying is we still have to protect ourselves and be ready in case worst case scenario does happen.
No, it's good. I mean, that's something that we can visit as far as continuing to build the credit goes. I just don't know payment-wise. That's something we'd have to ask Rob to work out for us. I mean, right now, understand that the building payment is not being met. We're $200 or $300 short every month because people aren't paying their building pledge for the mortgage. So it would we'd have to look at the money and make sure that we could afford a van payment if we put a down payment on one. But it's a great idea. Who? Rob?
On a $15,000 van payment, you look at about $300.
About how much? A month, payment-wise? Yeah, plus insurance. Depending on how much we put down. That's what. Yeah. And just to let you know that I agree with you, brother. We do probably need to do that. But as far as priority goes and getting some of these things done that we have to get done, we got to get those done first. So we have another business meeting in July, and we should probably revisit it then and keep that in the back of our minds, just see where we're at money-wise. Brother Allen?
We're gonna make this
You can put the date or just get with Brother Rob. Brother Allen, he's the guy he sits on the back, right back there. Just get with him and let him know when you're going to do it. Or you can put the date on there. Yep.
This right here is gonna be a one-time deal.
That's a one-time deal. That is to take care of the projects here at the church because we're still $4,000 short. If you want to pledge for the payment, then you need to get with Brother Rob and tell him what you want to pledge a month. Okay? It's yours.
Everything that's went on here, we went over a lot tonight. Just any questions that anybody has after the meeting, just come to me and we'll get those worked out as soon as we can. Some of these things are gonna be taken care of in the next couple of weeks. So with that being said, is there anybody that wants to motion to adjourn? Brother Tony motions to adjourn. Anybody second it? Brother Floyd seconds it. All in favor to adjourn.